Let's take a look at financial support available for some of the companies who are running bus services, and what government support you might be able to access. The Bus Service Operation Grant (BSOG) is a discretionary grant paid to eligible community transport operators to help them recover some of the fuel costs. The amount of each operator receives is based on the amount of fuel they use running eligible services. If anything, so consumers or taxpayers will be subsidizing some of the cost of running some of those services. If anything, so one of the or many reasons why there should be more oil fields and more competition in the markets when it comes to prices and how money is being spent, consumer money being spent, and how much of that percent will be spent on commute. It's subsidizing all the fuel for some services, some operators, and anything. Perhaps that could be outsourced to some other technology right down the line in the future. If governments want to be in a way of businesses, perhaps that could be outsourced to replacing petrol into electricity, if that's even an option, or different energy sources, as well as perhaps we should look to replace need of actually drivers by replacing a driver's need of actually driving a bus. That could reduce the cost as well. So there's different ways how they can reduce cost. But until now, let's take a look at this grant. Uh, this grant is available right now and it's going to be available until March 2024. So if it's something that your business do, there's funding available up there for businesses who is at the risk of to be unable to operate because of the prices. Since prices most likely will only, I hope not, but most likely will only increase, especially when entering winter seasons, as well as your all operations will have to go to a halt or to be cancelled or stopped. Let's take a look at its incentives. Operators may receive an 8% increase in their BSOG rate for vehicles that have operational smart car systems installed, and further 2% increase for vehicles that are fitted with automatic vehicle location equipment. So there's some incentives up to perhaps 10% there. Low carbon emission buses, or LCEBs. For some reason, I don't know. Since we're in the UK, perhaps it's a big problem over here. Perhaps it's a big problem. I don't know. Double decker buses. I don't know. Mary Poppins. I'm not entirely sure it's good, but looking to subsidize. And I'm trying to understand myself what's happening. But either way, so there's some incentives there, as well as perhaps replacing your fleet, if anything. Low carbon emissions vehicles must have 22 or more seats and be able to achieve a 30% reduction in its greenhouse gases emissions compared to an average Euro 3 diesel buses at the same passenger capacity. So we are looking to improve overall output or carbon footprint, as well as subsidize if you currently haven't replace your fleet. Perhaps it's something that you should, to say the least, consider doing in the future. If anything, recently I have covered King's speech, and within the speech we're looking to spend more on defense, right? Within defense, there's a lot of companies, one of them being UK's, because I have read some of those projects, right? They're looking to improve some of the fuel cells and different technologies. That would be base systems. That's defense contractor of UK's government. They're going to increase spending GDP by another 0.5, going up to 2.5% of entire spending, as well as that government contractor is looking to improve some of the buses. So hopefully yourself, if you have a fleet, you can reach out to some of those organizations who are receiving a lot of government's funding, taxpayers' money, to develop some of the projects. There'll be some of those projects being improving overall buses and some of the fuel cells. not necessarily limited to defense, but perhaps we're defending our wallets against something which we should focus as well, which is important thing when we're talking about taxpayers' money, long-term projects, and perhaps if once you develop your prototype, the project, you might want to test it. What's a better way of testing it if it actually works? Subsidizing public transport, and from the bus you can take and put it in a tank or something, which is great thing. The same engine, right? So good that we're doing more to help society. Zero emissions buses ZEP incentive. Operators of vehicles that hold a zero emission buses certificates may be eligible for a 22p per kilometer rate of BSOG for these vehicles, which is, I guess, great thing. Eligibility buses must meet the normal BSOG rules, demonstrate zero tailpipe emissions. Well, either way, I don't know. So there are other players as well, right? But not necessarily because the engineering myself, I understand engineering very well. Not necessarily that's optimal, but there are other players, right? So if UK can do it, there are some of the Chinese companies currently looking to expand even into Europe, which potentially can offer some of the solutions with a better price, market price. So hopefully UK can step up the things, and we need to discuss some of those incentives of how we can subsidize. Instead of, we should take over preventative measures than developing technology, right? So those buses should be on the roads within a matter of the next 6 months, if it would be up to me, right? 6 months up to 12 months, let's get the new buses on the roads, and we don't need to subsidize anything by taxpayers or purchase what other markets already doing, including Asia. If you're interested in find out more, I have published a book, Livestock Enterprise. In this book, I'm sharing a lot of information with the people who would like to learn more about how to start and establish your first enterprise. In this book, I'm sharing a lot of information of how to achieve or progress to achieving your first milestone that you should set for yourself. That would be progressing from zero to first 10,000 euros, dollars, pounds, and how you can achieve that. Ideally, hopefully, that's the reason why I have completed this book, to help as many people as I can to achieve that. If you were currently doing a research, I would highly recommend to purchase this book, as well as the reason why I have done it, for you to achieve your goals. Hopefully you can set those goals and actually take action when it comes to achieving your goals. You can find this book in the description below, as well as top retailers has it. Just to summarize today's video, that would be there are some opportunities out there within the market for people who actually are struggling and looking for government support when it comes to operating your business, as well as with some of the costs that your business might incur, especially depending on we're talking about bus services, and particularly what kind of roads you might be covering. Perhaps those roads people still need to go from point A to point B. So that's perhaps some of those areas worth addressing, as well as some of the engineering staff up there should pick up when it comes to prices and perhaps developing new projects, right? Well, those new buses should be a lot cheaper, I guess, compared to other players within the market. Should be a lot cheaper, and if it's way more expensive, so who can afford to purchase those buses? Thanks for watching, and see you next one.